So good morning, everyone. My chairman, sir, I have your permission to commence the training, please.
Please go ahead.
All right. Good morning, Lagos.
Please
Good morning, everyone
that
from
the
every
HT
other
is online.
Good morning, Nigeria. We are here today to learn and to equip ourselves in this economy. So before we move on, I want us to start with the opening protocol. The technical, please, while we take the national anthem followed by the ICAN anthem. Technical, please.
Idaroko, over to you.
Good morning, distinguished members. Thank you for being on this call.
Thank you for being with us all the time.
Thank you.
Our pioneer chairman, Elder Benga Omidiji, we thank you for being with us all the time. Thanks for your teaching. All executive of Ilupeju Bagada and District Society, thanks for your support. We recognize all ICAN council member on the call. At the appropriate time, we may do further recognition of you. Also, we welcome all district chairmen and other district members joining us today. Thanks for your love. To all our members, Ilupeju, Gbagada, and District Society, thank you for supporting all our cause. Then to our executive member, I thank you. So moving on this morning, today is a day that we have been waiting for. And at this point, I would like to invite the chairman of the district without border, the district that is setting the pace in different areas, the only ICAN district and others, the model district. Join me to celebrate our own Alhaji Dr. Bisiu Kolawole Fatai, FCA, for his welcome address. Alhaji, please, you have the floor.
Thank you so much, Daropo. Good morning, everyone. The president of Anupu Institute, ably represented by the honorary treasurer, our own Otuba Oluwatobi Ayodele Abiola, FCA, the lead donor of Joint Minds International, and the patron of the model district, our master strategist and pioneer chairman, Edda Odugbenga Omidiji, FCA, the ICAN Council member, our district coordinator, Madam Umbag Okon Joy Esu, FCA, ICAN Council members here present, Zona Executive member here present, my immediate past chairman, Professor Godwin Emmanuel Idokun, FCA, eminent executive member of the model district, distinguished members of the model district, dear professional colleagues, I welcome you all to the first edition of our practitioner session for the year 2024. I'm so delighted to have you all on this program. The district has been representing the institutes at the community level, liaising with zonal executives and other institutions on issues affecting accounting profession. This is evident at the last 18 Western Zonal Accountant Conference in Ibadan. The district was known for a rich technical session and have been imparting knowledge to members through various discussions that will be of help to members and the Nigerian economy at large. Today, we have brought another erudite scholar to your delight to speak on dueling Nigerian economy, mechanism for practitioners' strategic positioning for economic recovery. I am sure you'll be glad to listen to him while he shares his wealth of experience with us. This training is free and open to all willing members. If you have questions, kindly drop that in the chat box or signify by raising up your hands while the moderator call upon you to address us. We will appreciate if anyone can mute their mic to enable us enjoy the presentation. I will just advise that you all sit back, grab a copy of coffee, and enjoy a session with us. You are all welcome on board. Thank you.
Thank you so much, my chairman, Alhaji Dr. Kolawole Bisiu Fatai. Please, let's endeavor to mute our speaker, please. Please. Thank you. Moving on, it's time to listen to the keynote address. The person to give the keynote address is someone that needs no introduction. He's a philanthropist, a giver par excellence. The man all ICAN district want to poach and head on to become their patron. One of our members of the ICAN presidency, a well-cultured man, a respected chief, one of the most popular ICAN member and supporter of both old and young accountants. Join me this morning as I welcome Otumba Oluwatobi Ayodele Abiola JP, FCA, the ICAN Honorary Treasurer, to give us the keynote address. Please, you have the floor, sir.
Thank you very much. I hope I can be heard.
Well, very well, sir.
The chairman in Lukuju Bagadan District, the past chairman of Lukuju Bagadan District, the guest speaker, Kilian Kanuba FCA, fellows of the Institute, associates of the Institute, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it gladdens my heart to be part of this members in practice training and to listen to a topical issue affecting the practice. It's very apt and very thoughtful that the team of our technical departments put together this topic, Drilling Nigerian Economy Mechanism for Practitioners, Strategic Positioning for Economic Recovery. At this point in time, I think this topic speaks to the state of our country. And I think the technical team has done a very, very good job by picking the guest speaker who is a partner in one of the, I'm not saying big four, one of the big eights. They have grown from a two-man farm, that is, they have two partners, but now they have approximately between 10 and 15, if not more, partners. For me, for young accountants who want to be in practice, this is one of the firms, fully Nigerian, that you can model your practice after. They've seen it all, they've had the successes, they have the bottlenecks, and today they are the dream of every local company that is in practice. Hardly do you find a better firm to talk on this topic than Kilian's firm. And I know if we model our practice after their firm, we will reap the benefits of being a practitioner, and we too will be able to grow. So I thank the guest speaker for accepting to speak to us on this topic. I thank the organizers of this program for picking the best. And I think, ladies and gentlemen, it's high time for you to listen and bring out your jotters, your pen, and jot from the wise one. Thank you very much, and have a good listening. Thank you.
Thank you so much, our own honorary treasurer, Otumba Tobi Abiola, FCA, for that keynote address. At this point, I would like to introduce our guest speaker for today. Our speaker for today is a fellow of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria, ICAN, fellow Chartered Institute of Taxation of Nigeria, CITN, associate member, Business Recovery and Insolvency Practitioner Association of Nigeria, BRIPAN. He has over 25 years of professional experience in taxation, audit, and management consultant. He is Mr. Kilian Kanuba, FCA, FCIT. Mr. Kilian is a senior partner with Preston Padebo and is involved in the service delivery to clients in telecommunications, information technology, oil and gas, and so on. He became an associate of the Institute in 2021. now a fellow of both the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria and Chartered Institute of Taxation of Nigeria. He holds a master's degree in business administration from the Ambrose Ali University, Ekpoma in 2005. He commenced his training career with the firm of Ijiwere & Co. Chartered Accountants and Tax Consultants in 1995 as a trainee in the Kaduna office, from where he rose to become manager in charge of the firm's up-country operations with bases in Abuja and Kaduna in 2001. He was later moved to Lagos in February 2007 as a lead consultant in charge of a group of clients operating in varied sectors of the economy. Kelan joined Creston Padebo, then Padebo Professional Services, in February 2009 and was appointed a partner in 2013. He is currently a senior partner in the firm's tax practice and oversees services to a number of companies, including multinational companies and publicly quoted companies in Nigeria and abroad. He has led teams on several tax advisory engagements, including mergers and acquisition, divestment, group restructuring, new business setups, compensation and benefits, and general tax advocacy. His industry experience spans across oil and gas, manufacturing, telecommunication, financial services, not-for-profit. Kelan has attended a number of professional courses, both locally and international, in the course of his career. He has also served as a resource person at various training in Nigeria taxation. Kelan is happily married with children. Join me, ladies and gentlemen, this morning to welcome on board Mr. Kelan Kanova as he takes us through in the next 50 to 55 minutes. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much, Aderopo. And I want to say thank you to the Ilukpeju Gbagada District and Society of our great institute for deeming me fit to lead us in this very important conversation today. I thank the leadership of the institute, and I'm particularly very humbled, considering the fact that this is a district that boasts of so many intellectuals. I don't think there is any other district with as many PhDs as you have in Ilukpeju Gbagada Districts and Society. So thank you, and I would just proceed to share my slides to guide us. When I was given this topic, it was such a mouthful, and I really did not know where to start from. I must confess that it took time for me to gather my thoughts together and start putting this in writing. Rob will confirm that he actually got this at about 1 a.m. this morning. But reflecting on the topic, you will see that there is really nothing here that we cannot relate with, that we don't know as individuals. I think my job here really is to reawaken our consciousness to the issues and probably help to serve as a reminder of what is out there, what is expected of us, and what we can do in the light of the current situation and even looking into the future. So I hope I don't take all the 55 minutes. I hope to do it faster, but pardon me if I don't do it as fast as, but I'll make the best of the time, I assure you. Again, like I said, my duty here is to lead the conversation. The Nigerian economy is one that we all know.
over the years, it has remained a mixed economy. You've had both government and private enterprises operating in various industries, even though starting with the Olusegun Obasanjo administration, we saw quite a number of public enterprises being privatized in order to open the economy up for greater performance. But we know very well that we still have not done very well. Nigeria had consistently relied heavily on the oil industry, even though the contribution of that industry to our GDP has shrunk over time. And so there has been a lot of talk and efforts and planning towards diversifying the economy and making it less dependent on oil. Because we know what happens. Oil is a very volatile commodity. The prices go up and down very unpredictably. And whenever the prices are high, in the past, we experience a boom. And when they fall, the doom comes. Even though the most recent experience has not really been like that. Even with high prices, our economy has really not picked up. So, and what has the government been trying to do? I personally think government has been looking towards taxation as a way of boosting the economy. I don't know how taxation can truly help you to diversify, but it's what it is. Consistently, if you look at our budgets and reflect on even the performance of those budgets when the results are finally out, you will see that a lot of government revenue has been dependent on taxation. And even this year, the look is towards, FRS has promised to generate about 19 trillion to fund our 27 or 28 trillion total expenditure for the year. So you may say that's ambitious, but that's a story for another day. As practitioners, as practitioners of the accounting profession, we have got very important roles to play. Because we are like what we may call the gatekeepers of the economy. It is our duty to promote investments by ensuring that there is transparency in financial reporting of the public sector and the private sector, of course. It's our role to provide financial advice, to lead so that investors will know where to put their money and how much to put, what to expect, and things like that. So without accountants, I don't think you can have a healthy investment climate because nobody will trust whatever is put out there. So we play a very important role, serving as auditors, reporting accountants, due diligence advisors, and all of that. We also play the role of helping businesses manage their costs. And by so doing, business sustainability is promoted when costs are properly monitored, managed, and controlled. We provide fiscal and regulatory compliance support because without accountants, really, accountants in practice, even tax collection will be a problem. You will not be able to determine the base for tax collection, who is liable to pay tax, and the like. While we help the government, we also help the private sector also to ensure that they do not fall foul of the law, and to also help them to look into the future and plan towards compliance and avoidance and the like. As practitioners, we provide the public sector with financial integrity via serving as auditors, forensic accountants, and investigators, and the like. So the role of the practitioner in the economy is really, really enormous and wide, but most importantly, a very significant responsibility. And without practitioners in the economy, there will be no development. There will be chaos. So just to simply put it that way, there will be chaos. Nigeria's economy, we all know, is a fact. It's been declining, it's been dwindling, and there are many factors pointing at that. First, just a refresher. I will rush through the next few slides, just graphics for you to see. These are things that we do not already know. Our GDP has been falling, attempting to rise, from over $500 billion pre-2015. It fell very low. Currently, it's still struggling to get up to 400 billion. The projection is that by 2024, we may be able to hit 394 billion, all things being equal. The growth rate has also not been too fantastic. The growth rate of our GDP has also been quite low. You remember we suffered declines and went into a recession some years ago. Currently, it is projected that we'll enjoy a growth of about 3% in 2024. Another very important sign of a dwindling economy is the rapid growth of national debt. Our national debt has been rising and rising. As you can see, currently it's heading towards the $100 billion mark. And why is this? It simply means that we are not generating enough revenue, so we are relying heavily on borrowings. The current administration has promised to reduce our borrowing during this administration, and they have also shown that they intend to try to finance this year's budget and the subsequent budget as much as possible with internally generated revenue. But it is what it is. Our national debt has been on the rise over the years, and that's a clear sign that our economy is dwindling. Another way of rating the economy of judging our economy as a dwindling one is the increasing unemployment rate. We had to change our methods for measuring this, but even at that, you can see that the numbers have risen. When they were remeasured, it seemed to have dropped last year, but based on other factors, it's still projected that unemployment will rise in 2024. Inflation, last year we recorded about 28.9%. I don't know, government is targeting that inflation will be about 21 or 22% this year, which is still very high for any modern economy. Our purchasing power as a nation has taken a very big hit. You see how our currency has been behaving. In 2024, just in the last few weeks, it went wide. That means that we need to spend a lot more naira to be able to purchase as a country what we need as foreign inputs into our economy. Manufacturing has also been declining, which is another sign of a dwindling economy. Of course, with all these are interconnected. When manufacturing is dwindling, unemployment rates will go high, inflations will go up, naira value will fall because we are now going to be importing a lot of what we were previously producing. And that has led to a lot of manufacturing companies closing shop or reducing capacity. The last few months, we've heard of so many companies who have had to close shop. These are clear examples right here, even though some would have argued that other factors were responsible, but it is what it is. And with all this, how companies are closing shop, those companies used to be served by that the revenue from working for those companies that are exiting is lost to the practitioner. Please, am I still on? I noticed that there was a fluctuation in my. Can you just?
Yes, please.
Yes,
please.
sir. You're on.
Okay, thank you. So when companies exit, we lose revenue as practitioners. If your client goes out of business, part of your business is gone, and that's not a very nice thing. So there are other signs. Our insecurity levels have only been moving upwards. You think it's getting better, the next day it goes worse. We are suffering from a broken infrastructure. Roads are not being fixed, new ones are not being built. Our power situation has remained non-functional, so to speak. Our rail infrastructure remains highly undeveloped. There's a lot of plans on the table. Social services, well, maybe we should not even go there. Funding for public education is almost non-existent. Very few people can access public health care, and pensioners are not being paid and all of that. We are still very heavily dependent on oil revenues, directly or indirectly, either from sale or from taxation. Because even if you look at the tax numbers, you will see that taxation from the oil industry still contributes a very large chunk to the revenues of the federal government, and by extension, to the states and local governments. I took this snapshot from the Nigeria Economic Summit Group recent 2024 Outlook report. And it just shows in a graphical format the industries that contribute to the GDP in Nigeria. So you will see that some are in red. Those are the ones that are actually growing in the negative direction.
There was a time I'm always polishing it. Look, I just took time.
Thank you. So you will see those who are contributing to the growth. You will see those who are holding us back, and you will see those who are just stagnant. Why I think this report, this graph is important for us, is for us to see where there is activity, where most of the activity in our economy are, and the values that the economy is deriving from those activities. You also see those who are struggling and those who are pulling us back. As we get further into the conversation, you probably see why this information is important for us as practitioners. Yes, the economy is declining. How does it impact us? I think the answer to that question is not far-fetched. Our fee revenue is likely to decline because as businesses become less profitable, they are likely going to be calling you into the negotiation table to review your fees. That is for those who can still keep your services. Some probably may be looking for alternatives. So fee revenue is likely to decline. And with that comes lower profitability because your costs usually do not decline, okay? So you have less fee, your costs are going higher. Naturally, your profit should go down. Then with this, normal human behavior, competition becomes stiffer because you now begin to see that there are people who can render the same service as you are rendering, at a lower cost to the client. So your competitors are now upping their game, and if you don't up your own game, you'll be thrown out. Clients will begin to owe. We are seeing that receivables are growing in the industry. The more clients you have, the more debtors you are going to have. And some of those receivables end up becoming bad debts if not properly managed. Then there is the big problem, the brain drain, the jackpot syndrome. We are losing employees all the day, all the time, mainly because there is the great resignations going on in the Western world, and they are beginning to find Nigerian trained accountants attractive. They cost less to employ, and they are very happy to take the job and get on the plane and go join them, or even work with them or for them right here in Nigeria. So the competition for talents is becoming increasingly more difficult to keep up with in Nigeria. So as practitioners, these are the issues, some of the issues that we can all relate with and which we have to deal with. I decided to take a look at the budget so that we can see what is the promise of the federal government to Nigerians, and how can we look at those promises in the light of this conversation. It's important to look at this because it gives you an idea of what the government is thinking of doing. So first is they intend to reduce deficits. Deficit to GDP, according to this government, is planned to reduce from 6% to about 3%. And how do you do that? You are going to have to generate more revenue. Where is the revenue going to come from? Certainly taxation. So government is targeting to generate a lot of money from taxation in 2024. FRS has already indicated that their target is 19 trillion, which is even higher than the 18 trillion that government budgeted for. So if you ask me, it looks like government plans to borrow less, but to tax more. We've had a lot of noise made around this. The FRS chair has promised that they do not intend to raise tax rates, but instead they intend to widen the tax net. That means a lot, and we need to pay attention to that. Government has also promised that they tend to ensure that they get value for money by collaborating with the private sector. For me, that statement is pregnant with a lot of meaning, but we know what that means as accountants, value for money. How do you ensure that governments get value for money? And when they say they are collaborating with the private sector, that's a lot. Just 2 days ago, the CBN governor was on in a press interview, and he was saying that they have been able to detect over $2 billion of fraudulent claims by the banking industry for Forex. That's how they came about that. There was an audit of the process by Deloitte, which is one of us. So that's one way of ensuring that you get value for money. And so we have got a role to play there. Government intends to implement business-friendly measures to encourage growth. That means that there is a focus on the private sector. You are likely going to see, if government lives by to its promise, it means that we are likely going to see opening up of the economy for more private sector participation. And government intends to generate 298 billion naira from privatization. So there are going to be public enterprises that will be put in the market in 2024 2024. Then they hope to draw down on already existing facilities, about ₦1 trillion to finance developmental projects. Specific developmental projects was actually the word by Mr. President. Government is also reviewing tax and fiscal policies. We know the committee that is headed by one of us, Taiwo Yedele. They have been doing a lot of work in the background. And we saw a little bit of the result of that work sometime last year. So hopefully we'll be seeing more. And all of these are things that will impact on our economy. So this promise nuggets for me, I need us to just bear those in mind. But are we ready for the competition? I just said that when the economy is dwindling, practitioners will face stiffer competitions amongst themselves. The bad news for me is that as bad as things are, we must fight to survive through the bad times. Can you help me? Okay, thank you. So we must fight to survive and, if possible, thrive even in these difficult situations. Because practitioners that do not make it through the period of recession may not be there during economic recovery. Because the clock is not going to stop and wait for you and restart when there's economic recovery. So you need to remain in the competition. By the time, if you don't fight to survive and thrive, even in this period, then a lot of water would have passed under the bridge by the time you come back. And the environment, the entire climate would have been very different. So as tough as the waters may be, we have to ride through them. Now, how do we survive this period? How do we thrive in this period? First and foremost, like one of my senior partners will say, we thrive in knowledge. So we trade in knowledge, we trade in skill, we trade in selling our time. And your time is useless if it is not backed with knowledge. So we must continue to develop our skills and our expertise. We must continue to find those young talents in the marketplace and recruit them, train them, and strive to retain them, as hard as it is, or as hard as it may look. We cannot rely on old knowledge to survive in contemporary times. Knowledge is one of those things that changes very quickly. So what you knew yesterday becomes useless tomorrow because it would have been overtaken by new development. So we must not rely on old knowledge. Things are changing every day, and we must remain in the competition by ensuring that we change with the times. So we must invest in upskilling and reskilling programs for our employees. And we must encourage continuous professional development, like the one we are having here today. So no time spent in learning is wasted. Every knowledge
Hello, I think we are lost, or I'm lost.
I think it will come back. I think our paper presenter is a bit, there's a network lag. We'll reach out to him.
Okay, okay.
Some people are actually disturbing us. Is it possible for everybody to just stay mute?
Ogaroko, please help to reach the presenter. I don't know.
Yes, he's trying to log in back.
Okay.
Because my own name, my business. Báwo ni fẹ́ ṣe àwọn tó jẹ́ dọ́là ń bí báyìí?
Hillian will still join back now.
Okay, thank you, Kenny.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, sir.
Recording in progress.
So,
My sincere apologies, distinguished colleagues, for that. Is the devil of technology. I didn't. Where did I stop?
And you were talking about how to survive. We should keep training ourselves and things like that.
Okay, great. Thanks. Can you see my screen again?
Yes, sir.
Yes, we were
Yes, sir,
here.
we can.
Okay. So then again, you recall earlier.
Very well. It's okay.
Yeah, thank you. Moving on, we must align with the national economic goals, and that is why I shared a couple of slides earlier. One, the slide that shows our GDP growth, where industries are performing, which ones are suffering. I also shared a slide on some nuggets from the presidential budget that was delivered in 2023, talking about the plans of government for 2024. So we need to understand those national economic goals and align with them, because that is the pointer to where the economy is headed and where activities are going to happen, so that we prepare ourselves to play an important role in achieving those goals for government. And in the process, of course, we also remain relevant. So we need to look at those sectors that have got growth potentials. Let's focus on high value areas. Currently, if you look at the economy, you will see that ICT is one of the biggest contributors to Nigeria's GDP. There's a lot that is happening in the technology space. A lot. In fact, some of the fintech banks are almost becoming bigger than the traditional money deposit banks that we have. These banks, they need services. They need a lot of services of practitioners beyond the traditional audit and bookkeeping. If you look at agriculture, there is also, right from the last administration, there seems to be quite some focus on agriculture. There are a few very big time investors in the agricultural space who are producing for export, who are producing for local consumption and manufacturing. Very quietly, they are there, and they have been reaping from the economy that way. But again, this is a sector that I would say is not very looked at by our members and practitioners, mainly because we see it as an area where the margins are low and probably they may not be able to pay very high fees. But with the kind of money that was thrown to agriculture by the Buhari administration, and even plan to be thrown into it by this administration, I can assure you that there are real big time players who need our services. We must share our knowledge, because if you don't share, nobody will notice you. That's the truth. So we must try to be thought leaders in this area. We must speak and make contributions to conversations around the national economy as much as possible. Pick up speaking opportunities where they are there. But again, you can't speak about something you don't know. So you have to align, you have to understand what is going on out there for you to be able to play a role. There's the issue of technology. I think by now everybody knows the importance of technology to even our profession. In 2020, many of us were shocked that the world could actually shut down and ask everybody to stay in their homes for months and months. I'm aware of some of our colleagues whose firms practically also shut down, whose firms stopped paying salaries just because there was lockdown. And that was because of their lack of interest in investing in technology. A lot of firms also used that period and probably made more money than in normal times because there was less competition, just because they were present where others were not. So we must learn to adopt digital tools, e-commerce and online marketplaces. There are a lot of things that you can do as accountants. There are services you can sell virtually. Okay, and some of those services can be sold even to consumers or clients who are not even in Nigeria. So we must pay attention to technology and put our money there so that we can grow with the times. Currently, really, you probably will do better in Nigeria if some of your revenue are earned in foreign currency. There are quite a few services that you render to earn foreign currency especially from clients who are not based in Nigeria. So you have to be out there and put your money where your mouth is. Then, of course, we must learn to diversify. I know some of us are already doing everything, but diversification really does not mean you trying to be a jack of all trades. Some of this diversification should come from the fact that you have got people working with you who have got expertise in other areas of the profession. The accounting profession is one that is empowered under our environment to be able to do a lot of things. You can be a tax practitioner, You can be a wealth management consultant. You can be a secretary. You can be a liquidator. And you can provide recruitment and outsourcing services. A lot of companies are there who, because of use of technology, do not really need a full-time accountant, for example. But they rely on firms like ours to provide them with the service of accountants. So either by you helping them virtually to keep their books, okay, and providing advice from time to time. And when they grow big, you help them to recruit the right people with the right fit to take that position in-house for a fee. Then we must be entrepreneurial. Let us not be too traditional. Let's care for our clients. Let's do a little bit more of marketing. Marketing does not mean advertising. It doesn't mean going out there to sell telling people about your services. No, marketing does not just end there. Marketing even continues after you have won the client. How do you keep him? How do you make him believe and know that you have his interests at heart? So you must care for your clients. You must not be too rigid, as long as, of course, you keep within professional expected standards. Then you should build competitively. Sometimes we have situations where we bill for jobs as if we are touts, as if we are not professionals. I'm not saying that you should bill excessively. I'm saying bill competitively. You need to be able to understand your costs and be able to know what margins work for you. Billing should be deliberate. It shouldn't just be billing should not just be something you do by rule of thumb, just because you have judged the client. Oh, he can pay so much, and then I take so much. He cannot pay. Let me just do it. There are so many factors that you should consider, but bill more competitively. And then, of course, what some of us sometimes do not do. We are accountants, but a lot of us are guilty of prudency in managing our businesses as accountants. Sometimes the advice we give, we don't seem to give ourselves. But we must embrace prudent corporate financial management. It's no use letting your staff work for you and the month ends and you have not paid. It's no use expecting more value from clients that you underpay, for example. So you need to learn how to be prudent with your financing and see that your firm is a business. It's not just you. And so your firm should be able to take care of its responsibilities. And that can only happen if you know how to manage financial resources that belong to the firm and not treat them as if they are personal funds. Because when you do that, you don't know when to draw the line, and you probably may just incur more obligations that you are unable to meet. In conclusion, I said I'll do it faster, and I hope I did. The Nigerian economy is currently not at its best. We have seen all the indicators, things are not right. But we know that government is not sitting on its house. It has promised to do a lot of great things. But as it is now, things are hard, not just for businesses. They are hard for individuals. They are harder for SMEs. But there is hope. At least we have been told to renew our hope. And as practitioners, let us take a closer look on this promise of hope and see how we can latch onto it so that we can stay afloat during this time and continue to remain relevant, so that we will have the right strategies to enable us to reap the opportunities that will be presented by the recovery of the economy. On this note, I want to thank you for listening and for giving me the opportunity to share my thoughts to guide us in these conversations. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you so much, our own. I really appreciate you for your time management and for dishing out from your wealth of knowledge. In the last 40 minutes or thereabout, he has been able to take us through the roles of a practitioner in a dwindling economy. He has taken us through the science of a dwindling economy and declining GDP. He was able to tell us the impact of that in Nigeria and the effect on practitioner. Also, he was able to analyze for us the 2024 budget, and he touched on the prospect ahead. Please, we really appreciate you for those your thoughts. Thank you so much. At this point, we want to ask for questions from participants. If you have any question, you can signify by raising up your hand so that we identify you. It's good we do that. Let's give us number so that we will be able to control that. If you have any question, kindly raise up your hand so that we give us number for it to be orderly. Question? Please, the technical, is there any question on the chat board? Or if you notice any hand raised, please. Question? Okay. Yes, we have Mr. Patrick Olaleye. You are number one. Do we have any other person? Mr. Patrick Olaleye. Okay, kindly unmute and...
Hello. Can you hear me?
Go ahead.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, presenter. We really appreciate what you have dished out this morning for each and every one of us. And we pray that God will continue to enhance your wealth of knowledge. My question is,
hello, are you still there? Mr. Olaleye, we cannot hear you.
I think we lost him. Can we call? I think somebody else is raising up a hand. Maybe you can call on her to.
Please, let's have the Balogun. Unmute yourself, please.
Hello.
Go ahead, please.
Into where a group of Western tax practitioners was complaining about African, that our tax rate is too high and is affecting our economy. I want to find out from our presenter, sir, that is it true? Is it the tax rate of the African country that is affecting our economy, so to say?
Thank you. Let's have Mr. Salami, Korede Salami too. Please ask your question. Korede Salami, kindly unmute and ask your question. Please unmute yourself, Mr. Korede. So go ahead. We cannot hear you, Mr. Salami. Do we have any other person there? I think Mr. Patrick is back. Okay, let's have the speaker to speak to the question of Mr. Balogun.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Mr. Balogun, for a question. Truth is that the taxation in an economy usually is driven by factors. Yeah, thank you. Taxation is driven by a lot of factors, and those factors can be wide and varied, and they put things like okay. Factors, of course, will include things like the nature of that economy itself. How productive is it? You will also look at things like the size of that economy. You will look at things like the need for government revenue. You also look at a lot of other factors, social factors, and the rest. Because sometimes tax is also used to control or modify behavior. So depending on taxes, on the nature of taxes that you are looking at. But there has always been the argument that tax is a disincentive to investment. And can we just mute? Really? Okay.
Please go ahead. Why are you meeting yourself? Please go ahead.
Okay, thank you. So it depends on how you look at it. If you ask me personally, I will tell you that over the years, our tax system has not been a very efficient one. It has not been very reflective of our economy. Our tax system, in my opinion, this is my personal opinion, not the opinion of my firm, has been driven mainly by the need for government revenue to fund government expenditure. It has not really been target-driven in terms of growing the economy, incentivizing production. If you look at, and I keep making this point whenever I have the opportunity, if you look at most of the advanced economies, you will see that tax is focused more on the individual than on the corporates. And that is mainly because of the primary understanding that government helps to create wealth by empowering companies or the business sector to grow so that they can provide employment opportunities. And those employment opportunities will in turn mean that individuals will earn and the individuals get taxed. So in most places you go, you will see that the tax rates for companies are low, but the tax rate for the individual is high. Here, the argument against that is always that we don't have a system of capturing all the individuals. It is easier to capture the companies. And so I will also counter the argument with, why not strive to capture the individuals instead? Rather than exact so much taxation from companies, disincentivize productivity, and at the end of the day, the individuals also become poorer, and the government is not any better. So it depends on the side of the coin that you have up, your view, but that's my personal argument. I think we need to rethink taxation and focus more on the individual and make the individual an active participant in the fiscal activity of government, rather than just focusing on the business sectors who are supposed to help to make the economy to be more productive. Personal opinions, strictly. Thank you.
Right, sir. Thank you, sir. There is a question from Mr. Ibrahim Obalola here. He just wants you to give him some link, if there is. He's asking that on the average of doing remote work, can you please give him the example of remote work he can do? That's one. Then Mr. Korede Salami, his question is based on this daily cost of living, operational cost that is going up on a daily basis. And he was asking that, is it possible for accountants to survive in this? And I think you have mentioned some of these things during the time you were making your presentation.
Yeah, you are right. I did make those examples. I mean, I did say that, in fact, some people say that the accounting profession is recession-proof, which means that when the industries are suffering, when other professions are suffering, accountants tend to trust. There is a sense in that. But again, that should not be overstressed. I personally do not want to emphasize that. But the truth is that, yes, even in the midst of recession, if you have equipped yourself well as an accounting practitioner ahead of the recession, okay, then you should survive and probably even thrive. Because as long as government is focused on, as long as government is focused on reviving the economy, they are going to rely a lot more, both government and private sector are going to rely a lot more on the work of the accountant that has got the appropriate skills for that time. So personally, I don't think I see any reason why accountants should not survive. In fact, even with the economy recession, that the world economic recession we all experienced between 2020 and 2021, accountants all over the world are still thriving. And that is the reason why they are now coming to Nigeria, for example, to recruit our accountants, because there's a lot of work to be done in those economies. So yes, accountants will survive and have always survived economic recessions. So the other question on remote work opportunities, this is the point that I have raised. We need to be more technology savvy. Go to Google right now, type remote working opportunities for accountants. You will see a lot of links. But again, you cannot do those works if you are not equipped with the right skills. And you work with the tools that are needed to be able to do remote work. So you need to begin to train yourself and acquire those skills for you to be able to do the work. And from what I know, some of those skills are not that hard to acquire. You probably may need to invest a little bit of money to take a course online and make yourself ready. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Somebody is raising his hand. EOT. That reminds me.
Good morning.
Let us wait, sir. Please let us ensure that we put in our names and membership number into the chat box so that we can be enlisted as one of those people that attended this training.
Okay,
So,
I'm doing that.
EOT.
I'm doing that. I will do that right now.
All
Good
right.
morning. Thank you very much for the opportunity. I want to thank Mr. Clean Canova for the insights. I think what I can contribute is two things. His view on the tax of individual. The biggest challenge that Nigeria is having in terms of ramping up revenue is actually taxing individuals, the high net worth people that have investment all over Nigeria. They are outside the tax net. And if government can undo that, it can relieve the pressure of the economy. The second part is that in any forum I attend, I've suggested that Nigeria should be compartmentalized. Let us look at the way the tax can be structured in the north, the northwest, the northeast. Let us look at the evolution, historical way of them financing the society, even before the modern day. A little bit backward reflection can give us insight on how to structure our tax in different localities and harmonize them at the federal level. That is very, very important. The subset of that is to also challenge the FRS people to make the service to be a research-based tax administrators. I was lucky to attend the African Tax Administrator Forum last year, and you see a lot of resources put into it. But we need to research the tax issue in Nigeria to find a lasting solution. On the opportunity available for accountants, Mr. Clear has said it, resilience. There is not going to be an ideal situation, but as an accountant, he has given us a very good insight. Position yourself and reposition yourself by reviewing the contemporary issue. Where is the money going? I think if we are able to do that, we are going to benefit a lot, even in difficult times. Because when the going get tough, the tough get going. The solution will come. But the mentor that people like Mr. Kilian and other senior members of the institute can provide is this kind of training, awareness. And people should also, like I said, nothing will come cheap. Investment in training is very important. Look at this free training this free training given to us is an eye-opener, and such are coming. And I thank God for you putting this on, and I pray that it will be successful also. Thank you for the opportunity, sir. Thank you very much. Good morning.
Thank you. At this point, we stop entertaining further questions. We thank our speaker, but somebody is coming to do that better. At this point, I've noticed our pioneer chairman being attentive since, and I know we have word of elders to contribute to this discourse. I'll call on our own elder, Mr. Gbenga Omidiji, FCA, to unmute himself and speak to us, sir.
Well, thank you very much, Rocco. I want to once again congratulate our model district, Ilupeju Background Society, for putting this program together. Even for those of us who are not in practice, we've been able to tap from the wealth of knowledge of the resource person on things that will even be applied to our SMEs and private businesses. The economy is tough, no doubt about that, but there is nothing we can do. Everybody needs to survive. The fact that the economy is tough does not mean that people will stop eating. And the cost of food on a daily basis is on the increase. As it is right now, I was asking some colleagues, what is driving price in Nigeria? Something you bought yesterday is not the same price you're going to buy it today. Is it that between while we were asleep, the dollar has increased, or the cost of production has increased, or what? With the government projecting a 21% inflation rate, that is official and it is scary. But in the last 1 week, I think the inflation rate in Nigeria in the last 1 week had even been more than 21%. If you had bought a bag of cement yesterday, it was 6,200. Today, it is 7,002. That's a difference of 1,000 naira between yesterday and today. What has driven that? So I think we have more problems than even we are willing to face. And what matters now is the survival of individuals. And as chartered accountant, I believe that we have a role to play, both for ourselves, our clients, and even the economy. And with training such as this, we will be better positioned to place ourselves in a system that will be of benefit to our stakeholders. Once again, I want to congratulate the Ilupeju Gbagada and the Society for another outing on this platform, and I wish us greater success in years to come. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Elder Gbenga Omidiji, FCA. At this point, we want to take to recognize the people that have been with us. Thereafter, we take a vote of thanks from Dr. Abe. But I quickly want to implore Dr. Titi Fookon, if you are there, to take the recognition for us.
Okay, thank you very much, Elder Rocco, for that session. Let me also appreciate our paper presenter for the way he has taken us through how we have to survive. Distinguished members, I have the great honor this morning to recognize our people that have groomed us in this district and have made us even to be able to achieve what we've achieved so far. Permit me to start with our own lead doyen of Joint Minds and patron of IGDS that has set the pace for us with his keynote address, Otumba Tobi Abiola, FCA. We want to appreciate him taking our time to be with us on this training. And secondly, on the call, we've just heard his voice, strategist, and the pioneer chair of Ilupeju Gbagada District, a district without borders. Our own Elder Gbenga Omidiji, always standing by our side in the district and nudging us to do better than what we've done before. We thank you, sir. Don't know if you want to say anything again, but we've heard your voice a few minutes ago. Maybe just say hello to us so we know you are fully in our support as you always be. Thank you, sir. Elder Midiji.
Yes, I've just spoken and I thank you. I appreciate everyone. Congratulations to Ilupeju Gbagada once again. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. On this call, we have our own council coordinator, and in the person of Mrs. Mbang Joy Esu. I know she's on the call. I saw her. I don't know where she can just say hello to us. She's always with the district. She's always encouraging us to do more than what we've been doing before. Madam Esu, where are you? Can you just say hi to all of us? I saw her a few minutes ago. I know she's still on the call. Okay, I know she's here. Let me just quickly go ahead with the recognition. We have fully on ground our own immediate past chairman, Professor Godwin Oyedokun, who has silently been listening, and we'd like to hear your voice to say hello to everyone on this call. Prof, Are you here? Okay. We have a number of other council members. I've been trying to see if I have any other one that I can identify. But for those, if I see anyone again, I would call them up. We have our own chairman who set the pace for the opening remark when we started. We also have our ESCO members all on this call, and they are fully on ground. We have Tosin Akinwumi, we have a KG, we have our vice chairman, Dr. Abe. We have, I think I said Dr. Bode and some other, Sogbinga Kilalu, and some other ESCO members. Want to recognize your being on this call. Our chairman of district societies, I know we have them on the call. I may not be able to call all of you one by one, but we want to recognize your presence for being here with us. We cannot do anything without our members. So the distinguished members of the model district, I can see a number of them that have joined us and have been carefully listening to us as we learn how we navigate these times that we are in the country. So we want to say we recognize your presence. Let me also say any other person. Edaroko, is there another person that, any council member? I've been trying to look out for them. I can't get anyone. So let me also just say to our paper presenter, we recognize your inputs into this session. It's really practical, and we have taken quite a number of guidelines, especially the fact that you have told us that we have to keep relevant and we should shout, we should make our voice known. We thank you for that well-delivered paper. As we recognize your input, you opened your arms and you accepted us when we came to you. So we appreciate everyone that have been part of this session. And to all our members, we give you shout out. Thank you for being on this call. Edaroko, back to you.
Thank you, my doctor. At this point, we are taking the vote of thanks, and I invite the Vice Chairman, Dr. Samuel Abe, FCA, to give the vote of thanks. Dr. Abe?
Yeah. Good morning, everyone. It's my honor and privilege to present the vote of thanks to our esteemed paper presenter and the members of IGDS and all the participants. You have made my job so simple because we have my pioneer chairman and the general secretary almost done half of my job. First and foremost, I would like to express our deepest gratitude to our distinguished paper presenter, Mr. Kilian Kanoba, FCA, a senior partner in Christian Pedabo, for sharing his valuable insights with us. The topic presented today was not only enlightening, but also highly relevant to our current economic situation. We really thank you. We appreciate you. We look forward to more opportunity to learn from and collaborate with you in the future. They say we are all liberties, we will surely ask for more. Thank you once again for an exceptional presentation. I would like to extend our heartfelt thanks and appreciation to our patrons, right from Fondi Pillar, Otumba Tobi Adola, JP, FCA, the honorary treasurer of ICAN, and the lead of Joint Smile International. Also, Benga Omidiji, our partner chairman, also council member of the Great Institute, for their extraordinary contribution towards these members in practice training. I would also like to appreciate members in practice team for putting up this training section. Kudos to you. To all the participants, our professional colleagues, we say big thank you for attending this training. I will say we should be expecting more from the model district, IGDS. Like I've said, the General Secretary, Dr. Fawakon, has done majorly in recognizing all the district chairmen, the council members, the immediate parish chairmen, and all the dignitaries on this call. So I will just say thank you all for attending and making this session a resounding success. God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you, our own Dr. Harvey, for that vote of thanks. Yeah, before we go, Mr. Kellan, please, we have a token for you. And I don't know if you can see this. We have this token for you in appreciation for your thoughts. And we will get this one across to you. Thank you so much. At this point,
Thank you very much.
have come. All right, sir. All right, sir. At this point, we have come to the end of today's members in practice training. Please unmute. Yes, thank you. So we will reach out to you very soon again on another topical issue. And before then, remain blessed. The protocol, please, let's take the closing protocol, the technical people, as we depart. Closing protocol.
Let's go, I can found of treasure in triumph of banner raised, standing stronger in harmony, building a land together. Dreams of a founding fathers, we are striving to attain our roots and values that we share. Through all ages we sustain. Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria. Noble ICAN, noble ICAN, your accuracy we cherish. We uphold your integrity.
Thank you for participating.